Welcome back, everyone. Today I'll be analyzing the floor and beam skills of Olympic champion Ali Raisman. Ali was the Olympic champion on floor in London in the 2012 Olympics and a silver medalist in Rio at the 2016 Olympics. She also earned a silver medal in the individual all-around behind Simone Biles in 2016. She has 6 Olympic medals between the 2012 and 2016 Olympics. Ali is known for her aggressive approach on all the events and her power and combinations on floor. Let's get started with the analysis. Her mount was really cool and very difficult. A round-off layout, 1.5 twisting back, step out to a round-off back handspring tucked Arabian double front, immediately punching to a layout front. Very original. Look how far she travels back on this 1.5 twist. To create power, you must move fast across the floor, and the distance on her 1.5 twist gives her the momentum to go into her tucked Arabian double front very efficiently. She twists a bit early, reaching slightly around to the side, but she gets into a very tight tuck early, and she's squared off pretty well before her half flip. Watch closely as she's still rising after her first flip and has tons of time to open out of her second flip to prepare for her punch layout front. She lands with her arms perfectly over her head to throw into her layout front flip. She travels very short in her layout front, which tells me she has a lot of momentum going up and not as much going forward. She appears to flip in one place. Very clean form and very controlled landing. Here's a side-by-side of Olympic gold medalist Kyla Ross. Ali reaches around the side a bit, where Kylie reaches up and over more. This means Ali will be more off axis than Kylie, but not enough to affect the skill. Ali gets her half twist done very fast and gets into a tight tuck very quickly. Her hands are already on her knees, so you can see she starts to pull her flip rotation very fast. Ali opens up very early and has plenty of time to navigate her landing. Look at the difference in their arms. This is because Ali is setting up for her layout front, where Kylie is trying to control her landing. Both very nicely done. Ali played with a piked Arabian double front into an immediate tuck front, but I think it was too inconsistent to punch at the right time to consistently land the immediate layout. However, she did continue to use a piked Arabian double front into a leap very easily done. Ali did reach around the side on her takeoff. This did help her to get into a tight tuck, but it also did offset her access. Her one knee is slightly higher than the other as she is twisting a little bit crooked here. This continues throughout the layout, but it doesn't affect any of this combination, and she has great control throughout this sequence. This is a cool leap. It's a tour jeté with a flat and very parallel split and a full turn before landing. It happens fast, nicely done. Great flexibility here on a regular split leap. Also very stylish to look out to the side with her hands held out elegantly. I'd like to see a bit more toe point in this leap. Nice height and iconically done. She would also put leaps in consecutive rebound sequences, still maintaining very nice flexibility and exhibiting great energy, excitement, and dynamics. Here's a double turn with her leg horizontal. The one on the right is off, and she keeps her arms down to help with those micro adjustments, but she finishes both turns comfortably. This is a beautiful double layout with great technique. Wow. Great full arm reach in her set here. Her arms move down to her side, which helps with flip rotation. Now look close as her chest has a second rise and seemingly lifts her into her second flip. She finishes this clean, high, and easily. I believe she could have easily added a twist or two in this double layout if she chose to. She most often dismounted with a double pike or a double backflip with straight legs and a bent body. She does this so easily. I do believe she could have done a much more difficult dismount if she chose to, but most likely for her dismount she chose consistency over difficulty. Her tumbling and her choices did lead to 2 medals in 2 different Olympics. Great floor work. Now on to beam. She starts with a more simple split leap onto the beam. Very close to split here, and a very solid way to get her beam routine started. In this pike front flip leap, you can see how aggressive she is and moves rhythmically into her leap. On this side by side with Olympic champion Shawn Johnson, we can see they both flip very fast and start to bend their legs slightly early in preparation for the landing. They land in very similar high squat positions, and Ali moves into her leap as fast as Shawn stands up into her finishing position. Very nice. In this side by side, they both do back handsprings to a 2-foot takeoff into their layout back with a 2-foot landing. Shawn does 2 back handsprings, and even though Ali only does 1 back handspring, she generates enough power to launch very high and look solid, very similar to Shawn's. Here's a very smooth and parallel split in her split leap. Ali is very physically strong, and when she throws her arms back in this back tuck, she rotates so quickly she actually straightens her legs out much earlier than most gymnasts before her landing. Very well done. I believe this split leap slightly leans forward to prepare her for her second leap so she can minimize the pause between these 2 leaps. Here's a nice side aerial, and she does a nice job of hiding the micro adjustments as she lands. Again, because she's so strong, she generates flip speed and height very easily. The lack of toe point in this aerial does stand out to me. It's slightly less noticeable in fast motion. This is a switch leg split leap with a half turn. Her technique is to twist late, and this helps her balance, but it does contribute to her getting the half turn completed slightly late, as we can see this a bit in her landing. Here's a very high and fast tuck front flip, and she lands this very high with good balance. This allows her to move quickly into her second leap, which is a very nice and parallel split. In this side by side with world champion Kim Zmeskal, they both flip very fast. We can see Ali lands much higher with a minimum squat and rhythmically goes right into her leap. Kim has a deeper squat and a longer pause after her front to prepare for her leap. This is an example of how Ali's aggressiveness paid off and looks seemingly comfortable on the beam. This is also similar to the style of turn she did on the floor. Both hands overhead and very good balance. Now onto her Patterson, or her tucked Arabian double front dismount. Great stuck landing. In this side by side with Carly Patterson, we can see Ollie twist around the side where Carly reaches up and over more. The result is Ollie will always be slightly off axis, just as she was on her Arabian double front on the floor. They both get into a very tight tuck. Ollie's knees are slightly closer together in her flipping, and they both land excellent. Very nice job. Ollie was known for her aggressiveness and her power, and doing some really difficult combinations on the floor and the beam. I believe she influenced many other gymnasts to try to take this more aggressive approach to their floor and beam work. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you subscribe, you'll always be notified when I release future videos like this. Also, feel free to leave any thoughts you might have in the comments. Until next time, rock on.